Hey guys, what's up? Plastic Guy here, coming back with another figure review for today. We're taking a look at this Snapshot Spider-Man figure. On the channel, we've been taking a look at a lot of the ToyBiz Spider-Man Classics figures. They are some of my favourite in my collection. I just think they look so unique, so great, that I can't help but keep picking them up. The ones I like the look of anyway, and this Snapshot Spider-Man is definitely held at quite high regard from collectors. Recently on Instagram, I saw someone asking what do people prefer, the Snapshot Spider-Man or the Sinister Six Spidey, because they share both the same body mold. And I was like, I don't know. Looking at pictures of them both, I wasn't sure what one I preferred. There are slight differences that we'll take a closer look at. And well, with that being said, let's just jump into the video and I'll decide what one I think I prefer. Let me know what you guys prefer down in the comment section below between the Sinister Six Spidey and this Snapshot Spider-Man. While you're down there, if you could do me a massive favour, hit that like button. If you're new to the channel, please hit that subscribe button. And let's not wait any longer, let's take a closer look at this ToyBiz Spidey. And so here is our Snapshot Spidey as he arrived from eBay, and he's looking pretty good, but there is one thing I want to take a closer look at straight away, and that is this waist joint. So when I opened him up out of the packaging, it was packaged alright, and I played around with him a wee bit. However, this joint here, you can see the cut there, completely opened up on me. I noticed that his legs were just kind of dangling there, and yeah, I noticed this was completely open, so I was a bit gutted. I went and grabbed the Loctite super glue, glued it up, and I did an alright job. I didn't think I put that much on, but it came down here, and it was a bit of a blessing and a curse because it's tightened up the leg joints a lot, which is really good. I'm happy with that. These were quite loose, and the seller even described in the eBay listing this as a loose figure that he struggled to stand, and yeah, it was actually a bit of a nightmare trying to get it to stand. However, now it is fairly simple, and of course, oh no, there we go, got it first try. So this isn't glued in at all, it is just stiffened it up. However, the waist cut now does not move, like that is glued tight. So yeah, blessing and a curse as I mentioned, but it's not the worst. If I was to choose a bit of articulation on this figure to get stuck, it would maybe be the waist bit here, because we can move it at the torso left and right. So yeah, it is now lacking a wee bit of articulation, but it isn't the most important, and I am glad that we get the range of movement up here. We'll look at articulation later on in the video. Right now, let's take a closer look at that head sculpt, and I think that is the biggest difference between the Sinister Six Spider-Man. The sculpt seems to be pretty much the exact same, however the head is different. And I don't know what one I'll prefer. We can compare this figure to some other Spideys later on. I do like this head sculpt though, I think it looks really good. I think the main problem for me is the neck, to be honest. The neck is quite short and it makes the head look a bit weird. I mean, it is mostly just the neck, but the head sculpt itself is really nice. I do like the lenses. We've got the webbing sculpted on there and painted as well, so it is a good Spidey head sculpt, but the neck is a bit too short for my liking. I wish it was maybe a bit longer. I think that's the issue. I don't know. Taking photos of this figure, I think he just looks a bit stubby. I don't know. I don't know what the word is, but it is annoying. It is something with the neck there. Especially when these shoulders are so wide. I mean, even pushing them in to the closest you can get, that is some broad shoulders and they are big as well. Great range of movement though, same as the Sinister Six Spider-Man. And the body is the same apart from the paint. And I don't know if I prefer the light colours or the darker colours that we can see here. I think when I saw photos of the snapshot, I did like that kind of bright blue, but I don't know. As I said, we'll get to the comparisons in a bit. Let's focus on this figure, even though we've seen it before with the Sinister Six Spider-Man, but it is a nice sculpt. I do like this variation, you know. I wouldn't want all my Spider-Man figures to be this big, bulky Spidey, but I do like it as a one-off. In this instance, a two-off, since we've had the body mold before. Nice spider logo on the back. Great sculpted webbing all over. I do like the articulation on it. And just move that around. Feet are good. Yeah, so my main issues with this figure was the waist and the neck. Apart from that, he does look really, really nice. And I do seem to keep comparing him to the Sinister Six Spider-Man. So let's just get into that. And here is our Snapshot Spidey next to the Sinister Six Spider-Man, and of course we can see the similarities here. This is pretty much the exact same sculpt until we get to the head. Different colours, and yeah, I think I do prefer this Sinister Six Spider-Man overall. I do think I prefer the colours. I like the shading in the blue. Of course it is a lot darker as well. The red seems to be kind of the same shade of red, but the blue just makes it look a bit different. I don't know, maybe the red on this is a wee bit darker. And then the biggest difference is the head sculpt. And I don't know, I prefer this one. Personally, I prefer the Sinister Six Spidey head, but this is still a great Spider-Man head sculpt. I think this one does suit the body a lot better. And overall, I just prefer the look to this figure. But I still do really like the Snapshot, and a lot of people rate this Snapshot Spider-Man pretty highly, and they talk about what one they prefer, the Sinister Six or this one here. For me, it is going to be the Sinister Six, but of course this is a great figure in its own right, sharing a lot of the good bits that the Sinister Six Spider-Man has as well. For a ToyBiz Spider-Man comparison, here is the Snapshot Spider-Man next to the Fearsome Foes Spidey, and these are just completely different looks to Spider-Man, and that's what I really like about ToyBiz, giving us just different variations, packed full of articulation, really unique and stylised. It is going to come down to personal preference, what one you prefer. I think right now I do prefer the Fearsome Foes. Both have great range of movement though. Unfortunately this one I've had to glue the waist, but you know, that's this specific figure. I think these are both fantastic Spidey figures and I'd highly recommend both of them. And then to compare this ToyBiz Snapshot to a more recent Spider-Man Marvel Legends, we have the retro carded Spidey. And these are both really good figures, both a lot of articulation in these guys. But, you know, this just does look a bit outdated now. I'm going to choose the Marvel Legends if I was given the choice. But I do just like the stylized look that ToyBiz gave us time and time again. And this is such a unique looking Spider-Man. They are both great Spidey figures. And I'll try and run over all the articulation. You can get the head looking about that far up. Quite far into the body, left and right. The neck will move around as well. There is no pivot in there. You can get the arm moving super far up, and if we turn it around, we can see that the arm comes right out. Same as the Sinister Six Spider-Man. It's such a weird sort of butterfly joint, but you get a great range of movement. Moving the bicep itself is hard to do, but yeah, without it coming out of the joint like that, you can get it moving about that far out. So great range of movement up the top, even if it does look a bit dodgy. Upper bicep swivel, double jointed elbows. You can move it round at the forearm area. You can move it up and down at the wrist. And then he should have individual finger articulation, but for some reason the seller didn't include this in the description. But it seems to me like he's glued the fingers together. This arm here, I have managed to pry some of them loose. I think the middle two are still stuck. But you can see it looks like there is some glue on the side of the fingers. Really annoying. I wish they did mention that in the description. But I did get this for a really cheap price, so I'm not too annoyed. I'm more annoyed, I guess, about this waist joint here completely collapsing on me. Move it round upper ab area here, up at the chest, and that is some good movement left and right. A wee bit of a crunch as well, but you get this ab crunch going on right in the middle there. Would move round at the waist, obviously I've explained that. You can get the legs kicking really far forward, really far back, really far out the way. Upper thigh cut, of course it is the ball jointed ToyBiz. Upper leg, what was I wanting to say there? Ball jointed waist? Ball jointed hips? Yeah, you know what I'm talking about. Double jointed knees, move it around at the calf, get the foot moving backwards and forwards. It will pivot a wee bit, and you do get toe articulation. And so there we have it for this ToyBiz Spider-Man Classic Snapshot Spidey figure. and I think it's a great Spider-Man to add to the collection. I think my collection at the moment is pretty much I'm a Spider-Man collector. I love Spider-Man, I love all the Spider-Man toys, and I really want to get as many of the Spider-Man classics as I can for a good price. I got this for around £10, and yeah, I'm more than happy with it. It's a great look for Spider-Man. Personally, I would go for the Sinister Six over this one here, but of course it's personal preference, and this is a great look to Spidey. If you can get this figure, yeah, pick him up. Unfortunately, this one hasn't stood the test of time. I don't know how much the previous seller played around with this figure, but of course the things like the figure and the waist articulation is, it's loosened off, it's broke a bit, and that seems to be a common occurrence with these older ToyBiz figures. But if you can get one that has been cared for, an adult collector that's not played around with it too much. I mean, I even have some ToyBiz Spider-Man figures I've had since I was like 3 years old that have kind of stood the test of time, so it can be a bit hit or miss if you're picking these up on eBay, and I'm basically saying just watch out and always check the item descriptions. Even though in this case the guy didn't. Anyway, great figure. Let me know what you guys think down in the comment section below. While you're down there, if you could do me a massive favour, hit that like button. If you're new to the channel, please hit that subscribe button. I'll leave the link to my Instagram in the description below, so feel free to check that out. I'll definitely be shoving some pictures of this Spider-Man up on there sometime soon, and feel free to hop on over to the channel page and check out any of my other videos over there. That would mean a lot to me. But thank you so much for watching this video right here. And as always, I'll catch yous on the flip-flop later. Cheers.